It's just, is this familiar? Hey, what's up you guys? Artemis Prime here doing another SH Figuarts figure review on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers SH Figuarts Black Ranger. I've been picking up all these figures, just went to the San Jose Toy Show, saw it there. If you can't find it locally, I suggest you pick yours up at Big Bad Toy Store.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
You gotta get all these guys, man. You gotta complete your team, at least the core ones anyway. So here's the Black Ranger. The packaging's pretty similar to what we've seen with the other Power Rangers figures. And yeah, so some nice box art over here of the figure. Ages 15 and up, so these are collectibles. Black Ranger right over there. Here's the top of the packaging. Here's the back of the packaging. Of course, we have our sample style and heroic action, option parts, molding, movable Black Ranger. And then here's the bottom of the packaging with some warning stuff. Here's the other side, and here's the other side. Oh yes, and then on the very front we have celebrating 20 years. Wow, 20 years ago. I can't believe it. So I've been really digging what SH Figuarts has done with these Power Rangers figures. This looks like it's the same body mold, similar thing as the rest, but regardless, you gotta get them all. So enough talking about the packaging, let's get to the figure and crack this thing open. So here's our Black Ranger out of the packaging, and he looks awesome. Look at that power axe, looking pretty cool. He actually comes with a ton of accessories, so let's take a look at all the accessories that come with the figure, and then we'll take a closer look at this guy. So first off, here's a close look at the power axe, and I think it looks great. Silver paint applications look really good. I really like how the yellow came out over the black. Sometimes something like that can get really tricky, having a really light color over a very dark color, but I think it looks pretty good. I think this yellow looks pretty solid over the black over here, and I think they did a good job. I like how the silver looks right over here, and then the blade does kind of come to an edge, and I think that's pretty cool. So pretty nice looking power axe. He comes with a blade blaster, same accessory that we've seen with the Red Ranger. Nothing really new here. Great paint detail on this, nice sculpting on this little accessory. I think they did a great job, and it fits snugly into the holster right over here. And of course you want the teeth facing forward. And he also has a Thunder Slinger, same Thunder Slinger that we've seen before with the Red Ranger. Nothing really new here either. Very nice accessory though regardless. I appreciate the tiny little paint applications. I really like that a lot. Even little teeth right there. You gotta love that stuff. And then we have this Power Lance right here, which is separated and supposed to be for the Power Blaster. So you can see it has these holes right over here and these notches sticking up right there. Paint applications on these are very clean as well, and they are quite pointy. You can see how sharp they are, just digging into my skin, like how the gold looks over there. So I can't wait to build that Power Blaster. And then he also comes with the Power Sword that's meant to be combined into the Power Blaster, which is pretty neat. To compare it to the Power Sword that comes with my Red Ranger figure, you can see that the one that comes with the Black Ranger over here is just a little bit smaller. But they do basically have the same design and everything, and only one side doesn't have this black line pattern over here. It has a notch right over there and a notch on the handle right over here too. Now for the first time I am disappointed in the paint applications and something that I've gotten from a Figuarts figure. This is not painted silver all the way to the tip. I'm irritated by seeing red come through the tip of this sword. That does bother me. It's the first time I've had something like this happen with one of the Figuarts, but it's there, and because it's going to be on the Power Blaster pointing forward, that kind of sucks. So that's kind of a bummer. Let me know if you have this figure and you have the same problem on your Power Sword. And this figure comes with 9 interchangeable hands. So you can see right here we have these closed fists right here. We have these gripping hands. We have a wider set of gripping hands right over there. These hands right here are pretty unique. These hands are definitely meant to hold the power axe in its shooting form. So I had him using these hands right here earlier in the review when you saw him holding them like that. Then we have this last hand over here which has a very small grip. So total of 9 hands. Mastodon! I thought this looked really cool. I think they did a great job with this. I like how clean the lines came down right here for the snout of the Mastodon going in between the visor. If you notice, the eyes are actually, or the eye sockets for the visor are a matted black, where the rest of the helmet is a much shinier black. I think that was really cool. I think the silver for the tusks came out very clean. The yellow on the eyes came out very nice. They used a shiny kind of paint, so it's not really gold. Well, it's kind of closer to gold than it is yellow. I think the eyes on this came out very cool. I think this is awesome. The mouth came out pretty good. We got a tiny little black speck right there, but that is very minuscule. The ears are nicely sculpted on the top of the head. I think this looks cool. We got some line work on the back right over there. I thought that's great. Now earlier I had said that this is the same exact sculpt as the previous Power Rangers, but if you look around the neck right there, you can see that they have these lines sculpted right there around the collar. And the Red Ranger figure does not have that. Doing a comparison right over here, see he does not have those sculpted lines around the collar. This guy definitely does. So I was totally mistaken about that. This is an original upper torso sculpt. So there may be other parts of the figure that are retooled or reused, but yeah, I just thought that was neat that they redid this. Of course, the diamonds and everything are sculpted on here, and there's no paint detailing. You don't really need any paint detailing. Now, of course, we do get some paint detail right here on the Morpher. The Morpher needs it, and unfortunately, I can't zoom in any tighter than this, but you can see that there is a mastodon sculpted in there in the gold paint, and I think that is beautiful. Here's a look at the forearms of the figure, and then just taking a look at the rest. There's the calves. So the paint applications are pretty clean on this guy. Nothing to really complain about at all. I think they did a good job on this. I think the feet and the boots look very, very cool too. I like the seams right here. He's got the little boot heels right there. There's seam right over there. So this guy looks pretty cool. And of course, he does have his dookie hole. Of course, this guy has some great articulation as well. You can move the head up this far. You kind of have to shimmy it so it stays up like that. That works pretty well. And you can move it down too, so you gotta shimmy it downward and he looks downwards. He rotates side to side. He does have a neck pivot, so you can get his head turning side to side like this. And his neck does have articulation as well, but I recommend just moving it by the helmet. You don't really need to try to grab it by the neck. He has these little pieces right over here that allow for a lot of shoulder articulation, just like the Red Ranger does. So you can move the shoulders all the way up. He does have an armpit joint that moves forward and back, and he rotates at the shoulder too. He has double jointed elbows. They bend in all the way in like this right here. He rotates at the wrist and moves down and up at the wrist. He has a diaphragm joint. You can rotate side to side. You can get him to crunch forward and back a little bit. You can move him back a lot more than you can forward. He does have some pivot over here. He also has a waist joint where he can move side to side. He moves a little forward at the waist and a lot more back at the waist, and some pivot at the waist as well. He has this holster that can rotate, so I didn't mention that earlier, but there is articulation on the holster. He does have legs that can move downward, and you can rotate the hips outward, so I like this really cool shifting thing that they do on the Figuarts. He also has an upper thigh swivel up here. He has double jointed knees, ankles move down, up, rotate side to side, beautiful ankle pivot, and toe articulation. One thing I want to mention too is that the articulation on this figure is a lot more stiff than it is on the other Power Ranger figures that I have. All the joints on this guy are very tight, and not so tight to the point where I feel like I'm going to break anything. I just noticed that it was just a little bit more firm compared to the other ones. So Zach stands under 6 inches tall. And to compare him to a figure that does not have enough black paint on it, here's the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. And here's our Black Ranger compared to the Pink Ranger, Red Ranger, Green Ranger, and White Ranger. And seeing all these guys together like this is getting cooler and cooler. I cannot wait to complete the team. Still need the Blue Ranger and still need the Yellow Ranger. They will be coming out later this year. I'm going to be taking some pictures of these figures together all posed and stuff, so please check out my photo gallery at toynewseye.com. I'll have all my pictures up there. And please hit the like button if you liked the review. Leave a comment if you want to leave a comment and say something, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Yeah.
That's crispy.
I think the food... What?